You can defend this piece of shit all you fucking want. It's not going to change the facts. But if it makes you feel better about yourself by doing so, well, go for it, man. Go for it. It doesn't make me feel good to bash on developers or a video game, especially one that I have been looking forward to. But I know one thing is for sure. I would feel pretty fucking shitty about myself to sit here and pretend that everything is all good with this video game when that's just not true. There is a lot wrong with this video game. I talked about how this game had some serious lighting issues and shadow issues going on, and I'm going to leave that up to you to figure out when that's actually happening in this video. I think it's pretty obvious to see. Sometimes I think that the testers for video games are completely fucking oblivious, because sometimes games are released so obviously broken you start to wonder how that could possibly happen when there are teams of testers testing these games. Because I think this particular issue, the lighting, how it seems to go from midnight to sunrise in a matter of a fucking blink of an eye, it would be impossible not to notice or overlook it. So in my eyes, I'm pretty certain that one of these testers, or several of them, did in fact alert these developers that, you know what, this game has some issues going on with it. And because these issues are still present in the release version, I'm going to come to the conclusion that one of two things happened, or maybe a combination of both. Either A, the developers did not have time to iron out some of the wrinkles because they had to meet a certain deadline, therefore they were rushed to get this shit out, therefore it is in the state it's currently in, or Hangar 13 Studios, the development team for this game, were just way in over their head, period. The development team is fairly new, in terms of, okay, this company was started not too long ago, but supposedly a good chunk of that development team does in fact have a decent amount of prior experience when it comes to video games. Now I see a lot of people making the argument that, hey, you know what, it's their first game. Give them a pass, and to a certain degree I do. But some of you are treating it as if they're a small little indie team with lack of resources, you know, with a really tiny budget, and they had to work with what they had. And that's a fair argument to make, but that's just not the case here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a AAA fucking game. One which, like many others, carries a premium price tag. Okay? Costs $60 fucking plus tax where I'm from. Please stop acting as if this is some sort of a fucking charity, that they're giving us these games for free and we should be grateful and honored and fucking privileged to have them. The only privilege I have when it comes to video games is that I can actually afford this somewhat expensive hobby. Other than that, I don't see it that way. I see it as a two-way street where developers promise us a good product, and more importantly, this is the most important part, actually follow through on that promise, and then of course we reward them with our money. So at the end of the day, you have to start to consider that maybe it's just not a good idea to take their word for anything anymore. It's just not a good idea to believe anything that you actually see during demos and things like that. That you should actually wait to the very last fucking second before pulling the trigger when it comes to actually making a purchase in a hobby which again can get somewhat expensive. And for some of you so-called PC gamers, I'm going to assume that many of you invested in this platform to play the premium version, for lack of better words, of video games. So I just can't see how you're defending this kind of shit. I see a lot of people saying, hey, you know what? Don't review the game until after the patch comes out, and no, that's just not how it's supposed to work. And shouldn't work, I should say, more importantly. The game's out. People paid for it. This is the state it's in. Review the motherfucker as it is. Oh, what just happened? Did you just fucking see that shit? It's like I just took a flashbang to the face. I don't know, man. Here's the deal. I'm gonna just shut the fuck up now, and I'm just going to show you some footage. Okay, a nice little light show. So, enjoy. Oh, just one last quick thing. You had to fucking touch this fucking game, Hangar 13, right? You had to touch a fucking Mafia game. Out of all fucking games, you could have made a new IP, whatever. But no, you had to fucking ruin this fucking franchise, pushing your political fucking views and nonsense into this video game. Your fucking SJW bullshit, which in my personal opinion took fucking priority over the fucking gameplay. You fuckers. And I think any chance of a Mafia 4, a proper fucking Mafia game, is out of the equation now. Get the fuck out of here. I knew the second I seen that fucking bozo and the convention. I forget which one it was, doesn't really matter. You know, those things, those conventions where they actually fucking lay it on pretty hard when it comes to conning us to buy their shit. Well, yeah, I knew the second I laid eyes on him. The moment he opened his fucking mouth that this game was doomed. But I tried to be fair, I tried to be decent and open-minded and still supported you guys, and this is the hunk of shit that many of us knew that you were going to give us. You can take this broken, gimped, sad excuse to a fucking Mafia game, piece of shit, and stick it up your fucking ass.